Hello and welcome to this video series on Drupal. Now in this video we're going to cover some of the modules and things you need to consider whenever you're messing with your modules. So let's head on over to Administer and Site Building, or I guess you can come on over here and click on this, take you to the same spot. And come on down here and just take a look at some of these modules. One thing I want to point out, and I may have touched on this earlier, is that when we go to add additional modules, then they'll end up down here because these are the core modules, those that come along with the initial installation. But as we start adding some of these cool modules, and there's a lot of good ones out there, and they basically just add additional functionality and in some cases flexibility to your Drupal site. But they'll show up down here at the bottom. They won't be mixed in amongst these here. So, and I'll touch on that again later. But we'll get on back up here to the top. Now there's some of these that we're going to be turning on or enabling later on in other videos, but for the time being I want to enable the contact module and the book module. Now right now we have the page and the story under our text. And we're going to go ahead and set up the book right now. That's where those are going to come in at. And we'll go ahead and do the forum. And we're going to go into great detail on setting up the forum here later on. But for the time being, I just want to enable the module. And like I said, there's a bunch of these we will be enabling as we go along. But for the time being, that's another one here. Oh yeah, under the logs. I had touched on the prior video under or in one of the other videos under site configuration, the logs. Well, the statistics, the syslog, and there was another one, I believe it's up here, database logging. Yeah, that one's already enabled. These are the ones that are going to show up on that one page, and we'll touch on that again later. And trigger and throttle, yeah. And that's going to just about do it for the time being. Again, we're going to go over a lot of these throughout these videos, but I want to go ahead and save the configuration. You're going to notice something happen here too that I wanted to touch on, the throttle. The module under throttle, and it gives you a little rundown over here on each one. But basically this helps you chill out a little bit if you get a lot of traffic. This kind of, whenever there's an item next to it, whenever there's the whenever you check the box next to this particular module under throttle, you can see the title of it right up here. Name of this column is throttle. If you check this box, and if the site tends to get a lot of traffic all at once, then it will, when it finds it necessary, the site on its own will go ahead and throttle back some of the items that are not being used, so as to increase the performance of the site overall. I thought that was a pretty cool feature. And again, that's part of the core setup. But that's pretty much it for this video on the modules. I'm going to go into a little bit more on the modules whenever we go to install our WYSIWYG editor for the content, because at that point we're going to install a module and go through the whole process of configuring that module. So that same process basically holds true throughout all of modules, but I didn't want to put it into this video because that one's going to probably be closer to 10 to 15 minutes, and I don't want to keep you, tied down to your seat for too long. So whenever we get to the adding the WYSIWYG, as you can see here under create content, before there was only page and story, and since we enabled these other modules, the forum topic and the book page, we have these popping up here too. But let's go ahead and show you this. Whenever we click on this, and I mentioned this to you in a prior video, right now we have no way of adding any HTML effects to our content. In other words, we can't bold, we can't underline, can't make it italicized, change the color of the font, change the font, make it a clickable link, or add images. None of that is available to us yet, so that's where we're going to acquire that whenever we install that WYSIWYG editor. So until then, this brings us to the end of this video on an introduction to our modules. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day.